Now I know that a lot of people might not have a huge amount of interest in the October patch notes for Titanfall 2, but I do, because I think they're going to mix up the game and the meta in a whole lot of really unexpected ways. This is Ascendance from 4FS Gaming, and today we have an in-depth analysis of the patch notes for the Tricks and Treats update with a special focus on balance changes. But first, let's get out of the way the new content that's been added, starting with the new elite weapon skins. Now as usual, these will be a pretty steep $5 USD, and have the normal bonuses of increasing your chance at earning more credits and double XP consumables. We can see that 3 of these skins are Halloween themed, and they're only available for a limited time. These are the Spitfire, with an alien clown theme, complete with the red balloons. There is an R201, looking like a zombie alien dog, and also a car skin that goes along with the hockey mask slasher motif. The other 3 elite skins are more standard, with a Masterwork SMR, a Crimson Fury Mastiff, and a sweet looking elite skin for the L-Star. Now I certainly don't want to sound like I'm encouraging anyone to make in-game purchases and support microtransactions, but I do have to admit that the art design on some of these guns is really top notch, especially the Spitfire and the car, so well done to the design team on those ones there. Unfortunately, all of that new content is paid for, and the only other actual new content coming out of these notes is a few rotational game modes. But hey, they do look pretty cool. There will be Tactical Attrition, where your tactical ability resets every time that you kill a pilot, so watch out for lots of stim and pulse blades in this one. There is also one called Attack on Titanfall, which hints to the manga Attack on Titan, and pilots all have grapple, but with 3 charges, so everyone will be basically flying around the map. Finally, there is something called the Great Bamboozle, where everyone has to use holo pilots. I'm assuming those last 2 are for pilots v pilots, but it's not confirmed in the patch notes. Okay, so let's move on to what you all really came here for, those balance changes. We'll start with Titan changes, and really there's only one, and it's a small buff to Northstar. This will increase her speed while hovering, and also increase the projectile speed of her cluster missile. Of course, the weapon balances are where it gets really interesting. Straight off the bat, the R201 and the R101 have been hit with a recoil increase, and a hipfire spread increase. This will make it harder to hit targets when using hipfire, and make it more difficult to hold sustained fire on a target at long range. As there are no numbers here, we really don't know how drastic this change will be, but I do welcome it with open arms given the amount of carbines on console that I have to put up with at the moment. To counter this, the Flatline, who really needs some love, has had reduced recoil, which should hopefully bring it back to the meta in a somewhat usable capacity. There has also been a change to arc grenades. They will no longer detonate instantly upon impact, but will stick to surfaces and detonate 0.75 seconds later. This is not a huge change, but it will make panic throws less likely to be effective, and force a bit more planning when lobbing these things. Basically, it's going to be a lot harder to stop a fast-moving wall-running pilot in their tracks by throwing a grenade, unless you are really good at predicting their movement. Now let's go to the most intriguing part of these patch notes, because I really like both of the weapons they changed here, and the changes are very, very significant. Okay, so first we're going to have a little chat about the Mozambique pistol. This gun is now a primary, not a sidearm. Although the patch notes are unclear, Respawn on Reddit confirmed that the Mozambique will no longer be able to be equipped in a secondary slot. So to make it worthy of this primary status, it now has 2 more shots in the magazine, and the fire rate has been increased. And it is automatic. Wow, goodbye Mastiff, this gun is just you, but better. A similar fate awaits the Wingman Elite. It is also now a primary weapon, and it has a magazine size increase of an undisclosed number, but my guess would be it now fires 6 shots like a proper revolver. It is also going to have a damage increase as well. This means reliably 2-tapping pilots in the body, even at longer ranges, and guaranteed headshot kills at just about any range. Now this really does redefine what sidearms are in Titanfall. The community have been saying for a while that some of the sidearms, particularly the B3 Wingman, feel underpowered, and I tend to agree. Well, with this change, Respawn is essentially saying that they should be underpowered. Sidearms are no longer weapons that you can run around with and use as if they were a primary. So what are they for? Well, when you run out of ammo and you can't clean up a kill, switch to your sidearm to land that last shot or 2. That is essentially their purpose now, and the devs have really doubled down on this. I think we will just have to accept that the Wingman B3 will not be getting a buff for a while, if ever, simply because of what they have done to the Wingman Elite. I can still have my badass heavy revolver fix. The last weapon changes relate to turrets, which now take more damage from all pilot weapons, and have more health, meaning they take longer for Titans to kill. But wait, there's more. If all those weapon changes aren't enough to mix up the game, the changes to tacticals, game modes, and certain enemy types definitely will. So it's attrition, but not as we know it. This game type will now last for 15 minutes, and the points to win have increased from 500 to 650. Now these longer matches sound pretty good in my opinion, and proportionally we will have less points to earn in the time limit, so less matches will be finished due to reaching the time limit, and more due to getting the required amount of points. They are also what they call adjusting AI compositions in Attrition, so that could be a fun surprise. Finally, they are making Reapers only worth 3 points. Now this is good, because it prevents that last minute Reaper farming that can swing matches with little use of skill. The only other mode that is being balanced is Frontier Defense. Arc traps now cost $650, and amped batteries are down to only $400, which is more proportional to the effectiveness of each item. You will also get some money to make yourself useful if you join a game in progress. This next one's pretty cool. You now get 5 seconds of invulnerability when jumping out of the dropship, so you don't get instantly blown up by a pesky tick. Now, unfortunately, this one hurts a fair bit. So you know how turrets that are destroyed disappear if you lose a wave and have to try again? Well, now that happens to your arc traps as well. If you lose, it sounds like all of your arc traps disappear. All of those beautiful, now very expensive arc traps, they go to arc trap heaven. So these changes sound like they will make Frontier Defense a more immersive and deep experience. But I also believe that they'll make it a little bit more difficult. Now the next change compounds this difficulty increase. Reapers are same but different. We all know how terrifying that Stalker rework was where they explode when you step on them, but this is something else. So Reapers now take significantly more damage from pilot weapons, but in exchange, they get 500 more health. In addition to this, those Reaper rocket projectiles will not only travel faster, but they will be shot with greater accuracy. This is going to make them significantly more dangerous against Titans. This might not be much of a change in multiplayer, but in Frontier Defense, Reapers en masse could cause quite a significant problem with that projectile speed and accuracy directly translating into more damage to you and to the Harvester. I suppose that the good news here is that they are also going to be using that dodge maneuver of theirs less often, which was damn annoying. Alright, so we are almost there, pilots. The next thing I'm going to cover are the changes to tactical abilities. Now, Grapple is going to have 1 charge, and it will recharge faster. This is very similar to the balance change that killed Phase Shift a few months ago, but Grapple is such a powerful and useful ability, and you can cancel it to halve the cooldown anyway. I still think that it will be pretty prominent out there on the battlefield. We're also going to get yet another Holo Pilot buff with a significant cooldown reduction of 4.1 seconds. Hopefully this will make it somewhat viable, or at least more than just a bit of meme fun. Pulse Blade has had a really extreme change, and I'm going to take this one as a massive buff. It used to take 40 seconds to recharge, but now it is ready to go in only 25. There is an offset for being able to use this ability almost twice as much, and that is a reduction of duration from 6 seconds to 4.5 seconds. But by that time, you should have already ID'd where the enemies are and started taking action to eliminate them. And well, that's it. That's all of the important patch notes. Everything that you need to know. Actually, wait a minute. There is something else. The thing that we have been all waiting for, asking Respawn on forums for months. They have finally fixed the particle wall bug for Tone. Tone is back. Now that might be a good thing, or something really scary. I suppose we'll just have to wait and see. If you guys would like to stay up to date with everything from us here at 4FS Gaming, please subscribe and like this video. We also have a Facebook and Twitter linked below so that you can keep in touch. We also stream regularly on Twitch as well. I hope you found this video informative. I'm excited about this update. I hope you are too, even though there's nothing really new coming in it. It will mix things up, and I'll see you out there on the frontier.